Time on the track.
And I'm looking like, man, this dude crazy.
Yeah, that's, let me tell you this. See, so it was something in his eyes that I believed him. So it was October when he came to my house. And then in December, Christmas, he called me. He said, "You tripping on the holidays?" And I said, "No, not really." He said, "Because I want you to come to California." So, picture, it was me, KL, Serve, and SOULJA Slim. It was SOULJA Slim first plane ride. He was Magnolia.
It was
Slim.
Magnolia Slim on that time, right?
So we went to Cali. I'll never forget.
This was in '94.
Yeah, we ate Christmas '94. We ate barbecue for Christmas, and after that, that's when he was telling me he was putting together Down South Hustlers,
right?
Because he had dropped West Coast Bad Boys, and we was selling that in Peaches. You know, people that like West Coast music was coming to buy it. So he told me he was putting together Down South Hustlers. I went back home because I had 2 children. So after I was home, maybe it was May. Mm-hmm. May, he said, "You need to move to California."
Got 2 chance.
Who want to leave New Orleans?
Right.
And I wanted to bring my children, but so I had this really strong family unit. My mom and my grandma was like, "We don't know nobody in California. You're not taking them children to California. That's not going to happen." My mama said, "I understand this is your dream, and you've been doing this since you was a child." She was like, "But you're going to have to come back and forth because your children can't go."
Right.
And so that's what I did. And that was really hard for me. I moved in an apartment with 3 men. Moby Dick, KLC, and Serve-On. I only knew KLC. I didn't even know Serve, you know.
Right.
And I moved in this apartment, and we worked day and night. I did some vocals on 99 Ways to Die for P. On the record, I wish they would have seen him before he died. That's the name of the record.
So y'all was up there already prior to us visiting, because he kind of already looked like he had a team. We just didn't know who all was involved.
Listen,
I knew KL was though.
We was he had a California team.
Okay.
Because like my first record that I dropped in '95 with P, Good Girl Going Bad, KL have 2 tracks on that album. Mm-hmm. Trey 8 have 2 tracks on that album, but the rest of that album was done by Al Eaton, who did Too Short albums,
right?
And a guy named K. Lou, who did a whole bunch of West Coast stuff.
Right.
But yeah, see, we had already went up there, and then what happened when we got back after Christmas, Slim went to jail.
Okay.
Then Slim came back up there when I was living up there. And Slim said, you know, rumors was popping at the time. And Slim, he was doing all the concerts. And he was like, you know, my money ain't up here. I'm going back home.
Right.
So then he went back home. But
yeah, because he had a name in the city. Like,
yeah,
you know,
he really, really did. And he came based on the relationship with KL, doing a lot of his production. And,
right.
You know, because that's how I met Slim. Going in the basement.
Parkway?
Yes. So, you know, it was something, but P, what I can say is, when he told me that, I believed him.
How long it was till it was like, boom, this is what he was talking about.
So, by the time I moved up there in May, he got a distribution deal with Priority. So, he was manifesting it already. And then he had a different type of hustle, like a different type of grind, like a really, I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to drive to every state and hang up these No Limit posters. I'm going to every record store. I'm going to every radio station. The determination was unmatched, and so you kind of had to let him in.
No, right.
And that's pretty much what it was. But Payback did good, and I was working with a guy who's passed on too, Tevesta Scott. Tevesta had a relationship with Profile, and right before P, he came to me and he said,
He was looking on the deal for
I
you.
have a situation for you at Profile. So my mom was kind of scratching her head when I said, the dude that just left, he from California, I think I want to see what he doing. And
Was Profile where Run DMC was first at? Profile?
I want to say they was.
I used to buy records and read them a lot.
Because
you know?
it was like kind of the standard with Def Jam and everything.
Right.
But what I got scared about when Silky dropped the sister, Profile distributed that, but then they didn't do anything else with her in the career. So I was like, I don't know. Profile might shelf me. I'm not even from New York or nothing.
Right.
Whereas this guy, I want to be a part of something. The conversation with him made me feel like Suzanne Dupass at Motown. I wanted to be a part of building something that was not.
Right.
Because
my heart going in
when
this.
we got together, the stuff that he was doing on the West Coast, he didn't do anymore. And he was more interested in building with people that was from home.
Right.
So I felt like I have an opportunity to be somewhere, that started from the ground. Profile was already a big old label with established artists, and I wanted to be a part of that. So I went with No Limit.
Pete, yeah.
Either one of them, like when it was like today when you sign, you get a lot of money right then and there. That's how it was back then too.
Well, we didn't have any money, like with No Limit. We didn't have like money like that. So
You didn't have the budget yet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they was with him before he even got with the deal.
I didn't get you was no such thing as a signing bonus.
What the thing? What they say? Pete get them when they sign them.
They call it with the package.
The package.
But that came like after, like once P was established. Like like when they was talking about the house, the car, and people was getting Camaro.
You
Remember
was
they
with him in the making of that.
Yeah, she was in the beginning
making of that.
like I'm telling you, like
Right.
He had a vision, and she was a part. She started out with that
With
part
the
of
vision.
it. Everybody else was more part. Like once it was already kind of on. Mystical and all them Fiend, they came when P was
No
already
Limit for
P.
life. When I got blood, sweat, and tears in there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm No Limit for life.
Yes, it was like I was there. It was like it was me and C and Silk.
And Silk.
It was like us and Big Ed.
And Mac, huh?
No. So Mac and Fiend came when I decided to do Unladylike. My thing with No Limit was it was a family label, but I felt as an MC that we needed MC.
Some spitters.
I was like, man, we need some spitters. So I had this guy calling my brother Corey Bush. I was talking, saying how much I liked Fiend because I sold a lot of his music in Peaches when he was with Big Boy. And of course, I loved Mac, who was Lil Mac.
Right.
He had
I
been
got
around
wheels.
Manny and them since he was 11. He had already put out a record, I Need Wheels.
I Need Wheels, yeah.
But I knew as he grew, tag teaming with one of my favorite femcs too, Storm. He was so lyrical, and he was part of, with Big Cheese and them, the Psycho Ward.
Yep.
I knew that they were spitters, and it was my luck that Corey Bush had a really good relationship with Fiend, and he was like, I know Ricky. I'm in Swagman. I'm shopping.
Throwback.
I tell him, by the time I finish making my groceries, you should be back.
Like that.
He go get Fiend, but I'm still making groceries. So I tell Fiend, hey, I really like it. I like it from the first time Chuck brought him in Peaches. I say, I'm doing an album. I want you to be on it. So he was like, okay, but I'm pushing this basket. And I'm like, he better not say no. And I'm hoping he say yeah. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm like, well, if you you don't have nothing to do, I'm working on my album and I'm going to Baton Rouge. When will you be able to go? He was like, right now. So I'm like, you know, Mac? He's like, yeah. So make my groceries. I go home. We put the groceries up. Then we go to Mac. And I tell him the same thing. You know, I've always liked you. I want you to be on my album. So we get in the car. We go to Baton Rouge. While we driving, I'm telling them this. Y'all so good. Purse just got to hear y'all. Once he hear y'all, that's on y'all.
Oh, that's where the studio's in Baton Rouge?
Yeah,
that's when they had the compound, huh?
So we get to Baton Rouge, and you know he did. He heard him. The talent couldn't be denied.
Right.
The next thing you know, they were
No Limit.
a part of No Limit.